The chains are off. Let's go crush it. A quick rundown on how I value a car that I buy through scrap.
No, I'm going to put them there if I want to eat.
They are a bit wafty, but they're alright. Donut Friday. Welcome back, guys, to another day in the scrapyard with me, Henry Arnold. I thought I'd start the day off today in the car, grabbing the boys some donuts, give them a little surprise, because we had a health and safety visit yesterday and we passed with flying colours, so fair play to everybody involved with that. And we'll catch up with you guys back in the yard. So I've just arrived in the yard and realised today is oil change day for my truck. I had a message come up there last night which says an oil change is required, so I thought I'd get that done this morning. Gave Stuart a bell and he picked up the oil and he's going to do that for me now, so let's go around there and see Stuart. I'm just going to give the keys to Stuart now. You probably recognise him. Look at his dirty hand. Look at the state of his hand.
Let's do it next.
My
look,
God.
look.
Make sure you don't touch my steering wheel. Don't touch
the gloves on.
Don't touch the steering wheel with them, man.
Got the engine in there.
Anyway, he said it's going to take half an hour. I've got the new filter and the new oil there. So apparently with these trucks, you've got a 10-minute window from when you bleed them to put the oil back in. It starts at oil pump and it basically. So it's a Friday. I thought I'd treat the staff with some donuts. Let's go see how excited they are with my little purchase. Jim's not in here. Ah, I bought some donuts. You can see how happy Jim was on the camera. Jim ain't here, so we've got to take him up to Matt. There we go. Look at that, look at this. Donuts on Friday. Sainsbury's before I treat everyone.
Shut up, go away, get out. Go on.
What, are these donuts? Come on.
Go on, you eat them.
Might treat you to a donut on Friday.
How long have I been there?
I just bought them today.
I don't trust you.
What do you mean you don't trust me? Look,
I'm getting filmed on, man. We've got the camera rolling and there's some
No, this is just like I was going to record like just Donut Friday, get everybody a donut.
What do you reckon?
No, it was my idea. I said yesterday, I went, should we bring donuts in tomorrow?
I trust you, but I don't trust him.
I know,
It was honestly my
they're donuts for
idea.
everybody. They're donuts for everybody.
We've all sealed up.
All chilled up.
It's
Look.
because we ate them upstairs. I
I'm going to
had one.
record Jim's reaction. Then I'm going to put them there if I want to eat.
They are a bit wafty, but they're alright.
Alright.
I'm quite smile on a Friday.
Thank you. I'm always smiling.
They are fucking horrible, mate.
Why did you throw that out?
They're fucking horrible.
You know.
I'm not really sticking fingers. We don't mess about. So, obviously I said last week we had a health and safety visit. We did have it, went perfectly. There was just a couple of things they advised us to do, so we're going around the back now to tackle one of the problems. That was we had a man cage that we use when a pipe goes on the top of our machine. Somebody stands in it and fixes it up there, because it's an emergency and we have to react to it when it happens. But obviously the man cage we had wasn't fit for the purpose. It didn't have hooks for a harness and it just was a bit old. So what we've decided to do is put it out of use straight away. So we're going around there now to put it out of use. Other than that, we passed with flying colours, so we are the safest and cleanest scrapyard in the country, bar none. I can't really see anybody else having a cleaner yard than this. Look, take a look at the yard. Wow. Here's my very, very good sign. Should have laminated it. He's going to get that down. That is Robert. He works in the metal shed normally, or he does occasionally work as a banksman out the front and drives a forklift as well, so he's a very skilled man, can do many jobs. There we go, finally. So, it's only right that we put a sign on it to get our battery. Having tape trouble here. that's all done now, but it doesn't sit right with me. I still think we need to get it out of action properly, so let's crush it. But first we need to get the chains off the bottom. The chains are off, let's go crush it. Cheers, Rob! So it's actually break time, so I'm going to let the driver eat his lunch first and then we will crush it. And then that means that that cannot be used anymore. So the health and safety, if you're watching, that man cage is about to get crushed. When the HSE say we can't use something, we crush it. That ain't getting used anymore, and we ordered a brand new one with a grip floor, all the right harness points on it, and we've ordered new harnesses as well, so in case the machine does go down next time, we've got a certified and safe piece of equipment to use to repair it. So in an emergency, we are ready. This is a new segment for the channel, which I like to call Ace Car Breakers Street Striker. Taking inspiration from Wayne Rooney, we've decided to do a Scrapyard Ace Car Breakers football challenge, and we're going to kick today's challenge off with a new one I like to call skip shot. So what it involves is I've got 5 tries to get this ball in that skip over there. See how I'm going to do. Hopefully I don't get it in until the last go, because I don't know how I'm going to get it out, but that's another problem I'll face when I get there. So start with some keepy uppies. Legs sore. Bad leg anyway. Let's see how I get on. Attempt number 1. Fucking hell. Oh no, that is so wet. Number 2. We're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. Oh! Last 2 goes, I'm going to take my jacket off because I'm feeling a bit restricted in there. Arnie Clo, again. Well, I'm not being funny, but if there was a challenge to get it through that wing mirror there, that's a joke of a challenge. Right, last try, come on, let's get one in for the boys and the girls. This probably looked easier than it actually is, but it's really bloody hard. What's that, Wayne Rooney? One more? All right, yeah, one more go, yeah? So what would you like to see next week? Give me a challenge. We can do footballs in car windows, we can do moving cars, we can do all sorts, but I would like to give this challenge a go again because I feel so disappointed in my performance. That is so bad. I just kicked it in there out of anger. And it actually went in, which has made me more angry. I'm gonna take my aggression out on my staff now. I'm joking, I'm not. So behind me, I've got a Honda Civic Sport up on the ramps. The boys are on their breaks, so I thought this would be a great time to give you guys a quick rundown on how I value a car that I buy through scrap and what sort of money that returns. Obviously, these are only approximate figures, so let's start. So the weight of that car is probably around 1,200 kilos, maybe 1,100 after some bits have fallen out up the top there. That'd be around about 180 pounds today's current market for the value of the shell. Then you've got the wiring looms in the car, so we would probably think in a car like that it should have a fair bit of wire, so we would presume maybe 20 pounds, maybe 15 pounds worth of wire, and then you'd have a catalytic converter, which in that car I think they're quite a high value cat, so we'd probably say somewhere between 100 to 150 pounds. Don't quote me on that because I haven't done a check on the cat on it, so let's add that up. There's 180 plus 20, which is 200, plus another 100 pounds to 150, so that's 300 to 350 pounds. It had alloy wheels on that, and they were probably about 20 pounds for the set, scrap price. And then there's a few other sections of aluminium on it as well, which probably, and the battery, to add all the rest of it up, there's another 15 to 20 pounds. So we're probably looking somewhere in the region, 400 pounds and onwards. That's a very, very rough approximate pricing, but obviously That's a value to us. Another yard in the country might have a different valuation depending on what they sell the parts on that. But to us, we don't sell any parts off of that. That is just a full scrap process. I would say, in terms of the cars we get in, that's quite a good car. So if you have got a Honda Civic you'd like to scrap, we'll give you the best price in Kent or London. So keep that in mind for the future. So behind me there is the bay where we sort out our shearing and our scrap metal, just your standard iron. We used to let the public come in. They'd drive down here, they'd back down here. We'd have 2 unloading bays. One here and then one there, so you could have 2 people in at a time, and they'd throw the metal off the back. And honestly, when I say it was just a nightmare, it was a nightmare. We had arguments every day. You'd spend your time constantly bickering over 1 or 2 kilos of metal. It was a waste of time. I tell you what, last summer I sat up there in that machine for 2 weeks while the driver was on holiday, and I was constantly arguing. Every single person that came down here, all they wanted to do was argue what they were throwing off the back. And as you can imagine, you get people try pulling tricks, throwing bricks off, throwing bits of concrete off, and they go, they ain't mine, they ain't mine. And we can see on the cameras. So it was so much hassle, and it was causing such a stress on the yard that we decided as well, during the COVID pandemic, we couldn't operate. We just thought we'd shut that side of the yard and only accept metal from sort of big firms and skip firms. Just do the sort of the commercial jobs, because it just proved to be so stressful. And with the COVID restrictions as well, we didn't want too many interactions in the yard. So as far as I'm concerned, it was probably the best thing we've done, because it's just improved the whole general attitude around the yard. People are happier. The managers you saw earlier, Matt upstairs, he is the yard manager for the scrap side and all of everything here. And then Jim downstairs is the transportation manager and the office manager. He answers all the phones, controls all the pricing, controls where all the drivers go every day. So they're they're under a lot of stress as it is. So with the added pressure of having people coming down here arguing over £1, £2, and yeah, so that is what we've done. Yes, so back in the office. Obviously last week I said that I was going to get a new hard hat sent through by Power Hand. It has arrived, so let's have a little look and see what it's like. Oh, look at that. To be fair, that is a very good hard hat. I've seen a few of these style hats, but they've never really been this quality. So it's a big shout out to Power Hand for sending me that down. That is a Proto Power Hand hat, but you can get any Proto hats on the website. I'm actually hopefully going up to Power Hand, the manufacturing facility. Well, if you don't know, Power Hand is basically the machine attachment we've got, which I call the picker all the time. It basically replicates a thumb and a finger like that and pulls the wire and other sections out of the car. And Power Hand make the a more robust, bigger tool for the job. So hopefully going up there in a couple of months to see their manufacturing process and maybe buying one, because I'm very excited to see what they're like in person, because obviously I've only seen my one outside, so I haven't really got anything to compare it to, so that'll be decent. And then, oh, as well, I've had another little delivery sent through, which is even naughtier. So Roller Plates, shout out to Roller Plates for sending me these through, have sent me some number plates for my car. This is my Henry plate. I haven't actually put it on a car for ages. The last time I had this on my car was when I had a Corsa about 3 years ago. So this is going onto something. I was going to put it on my truck, but I'm going to wait and put it on a new project car for the channel. So heads up and you'll see that on there soon. But it is a Lamborghini shape. Obviously I've got both of them, not just the one. And if you look from the side, I don't know if you can tell, it's got a pink tint to it. So these are seriously fire. Yeah, shout out to Roller Plates. If you do need to buy any number plates, give them guys a little look, because they are the best on the market. So the R8 is on Copart still, waiting for that to sell. I've got a couple of phone calls to make, basically about some public sector scrap work. Just a couple of things, don't want to bore you guys. And then we'll catch up in the yard in a second. Quickly before I hopped out of the office, I thought I'd just give you guys a little look at some photos I've got on the wall. This is my granddad back in the day. A Rolls Royce there. And then obviously sitting on a car there. And then that was your scrap handler back in the day. Look at that, look at that. It's just crazy to see what it was like. And then in the background you can see all the cars piled up. And then down the bottom, look, there he is there. It's crazy to see, like, back in the day, what it was like and how things have changed. I suppose that's where my dad got it from. That's where I've got it from. It's in the blood, I suppose. Cars and scrapping cars, it's in the blood. So I've been searching absolutely everywhere for the keys to that bloody KA and I can't find them, so I'm gonna have to get some new ones cut, which is a bit of a pain. I'm thinking about doing a sort of mod series on a car that comes in the yard, something like a Honda Civic or maybe a Volkswagen Golf, something like that, and then doing mods on it and just modding the hell out of it, and then at the end of that series I would give you guys that car as well. Right, so many giveaways, I'm promising so much and you will see it happen. So let's get to 50k as well. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's get my Instagram to 10k. Come on guys, let's do it. Let's get the milestones in. Thought this would be a good opportunity for me to put on my Gucci hard hat. Big announcement, in with the old, out with the new. Welcome our new roll on, roll off lorry to the channel. It is a DAF CF 400 and it is Euro 6. The reason we had to upgrade lorries is because our old lorry wasn't Euro 6, so we weren't able, under the new laws coming in very soon, work in London. And we would have to pay a £100 fee per day just to go into London to use our machine. So wasn't a very feasible option, so we decided to upgrade into something much newer. It isn't a brand new lorry, it's a 65 plate, and we got a very good deal on it. All we had to do was change over a water pump and it is back working perfectly. It's a very tidy lorry. I'll show you the inside and out now. And if you have any roll on, roll off skips needed in and around London, we can now cater for you. Last job to do on her before she gets out on the road is to have her sign written, so she's got the classic blue Ace Car Breakers print on the side, so that if she's out on the road you can spot her from a mile away, and if you do, take a picture of her, put it on your story and I will repost that. Yeah, so she'll be up to work very soon. That is going to wrap up today's day in the scrapyard. If there's anything you'd like to see next week, please drop it in the comments below and I can make that happen. But guys, until next time, I'll see you later.